What if I told you that there was a show that posted a poll that asked, is it ever a woman's fault if she is Would you believe me? Or would you think that I was just making it up because it's so heinous? What if I told you that this show posted said poll not in the Bronze Age, but in 2015? Would that sound insane to you? And what if I were to tell you that this show is still airing to this day? Would you cry? I want to cry. That's right, today I am talking about loose women. Unfortunately, this isn't just a fun little show about sexually liberated women. Instead, it's a talk show with women interviewing celebrities and discussing topics ranging from their personal lives and experiences as mothers and wives, tales from their previous careers, all the way to weighing in on current affairs with the expertise and eloquence of a cat with an ear infection.
They have got equal rights in law, but they can choose where they go to get their cakes.
Yeah. What about if somebody walked in, like Jamila said, what if somebody walked in and said, right, I want a cake and I want the whole Islamic State on it and how I support it and how I support them killing our people?
It's not really the same thing, is it, Colleen? The gays aren't a threat to national security. They aren't plotting attacks or blasting the roofs off of buildings. Yeah, except when they scream along to Kim Petras at full volume on a Saturday night. My coconuts, you can put me in your mouth.
I've had so many rows with my gay friends about this.
I wonder how this conversation would have gone down had there just been one gay on the panel. I'm aware that most of my audience are Americans, so think of loose women as the British equivalent of The View. Both will kill you, just using slightly different methods. Before I dive in any further, let me introduce myself. My name is Tara Mooney, and this is the only channel on YouTube where all videos are written and produced by a cow. She couldn't be in the video today because she went out last night and she still hasn't come home. She must have met someone at the club. A loose woman, if you ask me. But if you like and subscribe, she might appear in the next video. Let's give a little background on Loose Women as a show. It broadcasts on ITV on weekdays from 12:30 to 1:30 PM. It started back in 1999, and generally the women on the panel are aged 40s to 60s and have backgrounds in television, presenting, journalism, acting, etc. I'm aware that I am not the target audience for this show. The target audiences are, stay-at-home mums, wives, middle-aged women. So naturally, it wouldn't be for me. And when they're just gossiping about celebrities and talking about their personal lives, there's no issue. I love me a little lunchtime kiki. Well, I do take issue with them revealing personal stories about their children.
I can remember getting on a very, very long flight with Finley when he was about 2.5. That's sort of prime tantrum age. And I'd been told if you give your kids some medicine just before you go on a flight, sometimes make them a little bit dozy. Pooed himself. Horribly, and then ran into first class.
Imagine your mum naming and shaming you on national television for shitting yourself on a plane. I know they were a baby when it happened, but it's still mortifying. And it gets even worse because not only will they share super embarrassing stories about their kids, but also very personal ones. Colleen, Miss Gazer Isis, talked about how her son had a breakdown when he found out that his parents were getting a divorce, which is just not cool. Not your place to share, Colleen. The show gives off mummy blogger vibes. Family channels where you film your kid crying and then post it online, and then they have to live with it for the rest of their lives because they have no control over what you do as their parent. Oh no, now we're back to loose women. I guess you probably want more of an explanation about what I opened this video with. The fact that they actually posted a poll asking if it's ever the woman's fault if she is raped. That actually happened, not in Minecraft, but in real life. This all occurred in 2015 when Chrissy Hind of The Pretenders released a memoir and made comments about her own from when she was a young adult. To paraphrase, she said that she takes responsibility because she drank too much. Now, I don't think I need to psychoanalyze this for you. All I'll say is, it's heartbreaking to hear a victim, survivor, blame themselves in any capacity. The Loose Women panel decided to have a discussion about these comments, and well...
The perpetrator of a sexual act is always in the wrong, 100%. I'm not excusing them in any way, shape or form, but if any women come along, as Judy Finnegan did on this show last year, and express an opinion that might be saying, well, hang on a minute, if a woman is drunk and is wearing highly provocative clothes, she is placing herself at risk. You're not even allowed to say that anymore.
Gosh, feminism has gone too far.
I wrote in the Mail today.
You write for the Mail, do you, Janet? Of course you do.
And if she felt that she wanted to take some responsibility for herself, I think she has every right to say that.
I mean, yeah, victims have the right to reflect on their own experiences however they wish, whatever they need to do to survive. But when you're a public figure with a platform talking about said issue, you have the power to hurt other victims. And just because you're a survivor yourself doesn't give you the right to harm other survivors. Though I do want to be fair to the panel, because you know what they say, a broken clock is right occasionally. Twice a day?
Chrissy has the right to say what she feels, but at the same time, we do have to look at these comments, and they can be dangerous because what they do is they give predatory men justification for their sick behaviour, and actually, the woman is never to blame. It's like...
Oh, thank God.
The show will lead to outrage on Twitter because that's the way it is now. There's no... Everything's in black or white with no shades of opinion in the middle, and that's sad.
Women can't ever have a slightly different opinion. You call yourself a feminist, but you don't respect my opinion as a woman that I think that I should be allowed to kick babies? What about women's empowerment? I feel empowered to drop kick a baby. So then someone on their social media team thought that it wouldn't be a completely batshit idea to post the poll I talked about earlier. And obviously people were outraged because what the fuck? Charities like Rape Crisis spoke out about it. They quite rightly stated that expressing such archaic attitudes only makes it more difficult for victims to come forward. Which is funny because, not funny like haha funny, you know what I mean, but like, because on the panel they said...
And I think it is a subject we need to discuss and opinions need to be aired and so that victims know that they can come out and however they feel about it.
We want to have these discussions so victims can come forward, and it's like, well, you fucked that one up, didn't you, Ruth? So, fellas, victims of nuclear warfare, is it just me or should they take a little bit of responsibility? Oh, and in case you were wondering what the response to the poll was, 87.85% said no. So there were actual people that said yes. We'll just park that over there. As one would expect, their response was awesome. Bad. We always want to know what our viewers think about topical issues. However, we accept that the wording of the online poll was misjudged and we apologise for any offence caused. Well, that's upsetting. So let's talk about something lighter. And yes, I am aware that some of you might be wondering, hey Tara, this is a British TV show by a British production company involving British women presenters with backgrounds in British media. Are there examples of transphobia on this show? And my answer to that question would be yes, of course there are. This is the United Kingdom, Turf Island. Of course, they're transphobic on this show. Anytime trans issues come up on this show, it's a fucking nightmare. But since I've already subjected you to victim blaming, I will not subject you to this as well. I think the main reason talk shows like Loose Women, The View, etc. feel antiquated is because A, they're gender essentialists, of course, you know, and B, it feels like they just get a bunch of ladies to sit in a circle and bicker, and that's the entertainment. And I guess that's the premise of most reality TV, but with this you don't even get, you know, the fun editing or, you know, planted storylines that we enjoy. With this, it's just, here's a table, sit and shout at each other, please. The View, the US equivalent, is even worse when it comes to this because it seems every single day is just a shouting match between the panel and John McCain's daughter. I suppose it works if you want some background noise at lunch, but personally I find this very stressful to listen to. Often they'll get celebrity guests to come on and air their petty feuds, and it gets really messy.
So is that your crown? I've still got mine at home. Well, so you didn't give it back? No. Why? It's beautiful, it looks wonderful. When I've worked so hard for something, why do I want to give that back? I won.
This situation is interesting because basically Zara, this lady, was Miss Great Britain and then went on Love Island and had intercourse. So the committee, or whatever, removed her title. I do think this is silly because they let her go on Love Island in the first place. Like, surely they knew what kind of show she was going on. And also, people have sex. It's not a big deal. But that's just my opinion. I get that, you know, they have the right to let go of someone if they hurt their branding. So, I mean, pageants are terrible anyway. I don't really care. So they get her understudy who replaced her on the show, and well, if you thought WWE was dramatic, watch this, mate.
So you still don't think she deserves it?
No. It was my dream as well as it was your dream.
But you didn't win on the night.
But you gave it up.
I didn't give it up.
You did all your charity work. Oh. No one has taken that away.
Yeah.
But afterwards, I think your views and opinions changed, maybe where you wanted to go forward in the future.
Why do you think that?
Because did you do any charity work afterwards?
I have actually, yeah.
That's such a subtle but good read. Next time I'm in an argument with someone, I'm just going to be like, have you even done any charity work? Because I have, because I'm so generous.
We just see it in a way where...
Who's we?
Well, obviously the Miss GB organisation, myself, the brand.
So spicy.
If they were so bothered, they never should have let me go on Love Island in the first place. End of.
I really admire that you know, you're a feisty girl and you obviously believe very strongly in sticking up for women's rights. But part of the belief in sticking up for women's rights is sticking up for your own decency.
Yes.
And being strong within yourself.
Part of women's rights is sticking up for your own decency? What in the classically Abbey is this? Oh, as a side note, this happened.
I moved back to the UK, a white girl with a black girl's voice. Yeah, man, I can still do the thing.
What in the Jessie Nelson is this? Oh, man. These shows are very weird, and I'm curious to see how much longer they last on air. So when my generation, you know, has kids and stays at home and retires, not that my generation's going to do any of those things because we can't afford to retire and we're having fewer children because, you know, how it is, and oh, climate change. Ignoring those things, will we still be watching this show? I kind of doubt it. But anyways, that is enough for today. Let's look at today's subscription Pet Shoutout. Oh, it's so good. This is Coconut the cow and Barn and Dove the lambs. Coconut is a 9-year-old white Galloway Frisian cross. When she was a baby, she thought she was a sheep, and the lovely person who sent them said this: "If she's lying down, I can sit on her back and pet her. She loves people, especially when they bring her treats like bread or peaches. I swear she's not pregnant in any of these pics, just very fat. She's thick, and we love that for her." Incredible stuff. I love all the pet submissions I get, but when I get a cow sent in to me, oh, it's the creme de la creme. Give these little peaches a round of applause. Woo-woo! Thank you for watching my lovely subscriptions. I hope you enjoyed this short but sweet vid. Apologies, I haven't posted in a while. I had a schedule all planned, but then I got Miss Rona, and it's knocked me out. I've got to say, I'm a very sleepy girl at the moment. I mean, I'm a sleepy girl at the best of times, so I'm an even sleepier girl. So bear with me. I've got a long one coming out in February, and I'm very excited for it. See you in the next one. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.